Tell me about this outfit, this fashion, and especially the choker.
This is the original armor that I wear in the movie.
When headlines start swirling and strangers online begin dissecting every glance, every outfit, every solo appearance, most couples would feel the pressure crack through the walls. But for Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas, that outside noise has become something they've learned to mute with intention. In a recent conversation, Priyanka explained that protecting their marriage isn't about pretending negativity doesn't exist. It's about refusing to let it define their reality. She shared that from the very beginning of their whirlwind romance, they knew their relationship would live under a microscope. The age gap commentary, the cultural differences chatter, the endless speculation about motives, it all came fast and loud. Yet instead of reacting publicly to every rumor, they built a private framework rooted in communication. Priyanka emphasized that clarity between them matters more than public perception. If something is said online, they talk about it. If a rumor trends, they address it privately rather than allowing assumptions to fester. That deliberate transparency, she hinted, keeps small doubts from growing into larger fractures. Nick has echoed similar sentiments in past interviews, noting that marriage in the spotlight requires thick skin and even thicker trust. They've both acknowledged that fame can distort narratives, turning ordinary moments into dramatic headlines. So their strategy is surprisingly simple: keep the real conversations offline and the emotional work behind closed doors. Friends close to the couple have long said that they prioritize time away from social media when things get noisy, choosing instead to focus on family dinners, creative collaboration, and quiet evenings at home. By consciously choosing what deserves their attention, they've created boundaries that many celebrity couples struggle to maintain, and that boundary might be their strongest defense yet. But that wasn't always easy. When they first tied the knot in 2018, critics questioned everything from the speed of their engagement to the authenticity of their connection. Reports claimed that online trolls predicted a short-lived romance, insisting the marriage was more strategic than sincere. Rumors suggested cultural differences would eventually cause friction, and fans on both sides speculated about power dynamics in their high-profile union. Instead of clapping back with explosive statements, Priyanka and Nick leaned into something quieter: consistency. They showed up for each other publicly without oversharing. They celebrated milestones without turning them into spectacles. Over time, that steady rhythm spoke louder than rebuttals ever could. Priyanka has described their approach as protecting the sacred, explaining that not every disagreement or emotional moment belongs on a feed. By limiting what the world sees, they limit what the world can distort. Nick, who grew up in the entertainment industry, understood early on how quickly narratives can spiral. That experience, according to insiders, helped them craft a united front long before controversies could test it. And while speculation has occasionally resurfaced, from breakup whispers to exaggerated body language analyses, the couple's calm response has remained the same. They don't deny every rumor. They don't confirm every headline. They simply continue forward. That quiet defiance sends a subtle but powerful message. Their marriage is not a public project open for review. It's a partnership built on shared values, long conversations, and a mutual decision to tune out the chaos. What truly strengthens their bond, however, goes beyond ignoring negativity. It's about actively choosing positivity. Priyanka has spoken about the importance of celebrating each other's wins rather than competing in the spotlight. With global film projects, music tours, business ventures, and philanthropic work constantly pulling them in different directions, it would be easy for ego to creep in. But she insists that they approach success as a shared victory. When Nick is on tour, she becomes his loudest cheerleader. When Priyanka lands a major role or launches a new venture, he amplifies her achievements just as passionately. That mutual admiration creates a buffer against outside narratives that attempt to pit them against each other. Fans online sometimes speculate about whose career is bigger or who sacrifices more, yet those conversations reportedly never dominate their private life. Instead, they've built routines that keep them grounded: scheduled check-ins, intentional date nights, and even moments of digital detox to reset emotionally. Priyanka once hinted that laughter is their secret weapon, explaining that humor diffuses tension before it escalates. Rather than letting external criticism seep into their interactions, they address insecurities head-on and move forward together. And, perhaps most importantly, they remind each other why they chose this life, not for validation, but for love. That consistent reinforcement of their foundation acts like armor. While public scrutiny may intensify during certain seasons, their internal stability appears to remain steady, shielded by trust and reinforced by daily effort. In the end, their message feels surprisingly grounded for two global stars constantly under scrutiny. Priyanka and Nick aren't claiming perfection, nor are they pretending negativity doesn't sting. They simply refuse to grant it power. By drawing firm boundaries between public commentary and private truth, they've reshaped how high-profile marriage can function in the digital age. Instead of reacting to every trending topic, they respond to each other. Instead of feeding speculation, they feed connection. It's a philosophy that challenges the modern expectation that celebrity relationships must be transparent to be authentic. For them, authenticity lives in the quiet spaces, the unposted moments, the unshared conversations, the decisions made without an audience. And while the internet may continue to analyze, predict, and speculate, their united front suggests something deeper at work. They're not just blocking out negativity, they're actively choosing a narrative built on partnership, respect, and resilience. In a world addicted to drama, that choice might be the boldest move of all.